Okay. Need to head out and grab our trailer. Luckily, our trailer is close by, so we can get this on the road really soon. I need to turn a bit more on that. Okay, and I'm in Poland. Poland is a drive on right-hand side of the road. I also did not stop for what I was sure was probably a stop sign. Yeah, I imagine it would be pretty interesting being a truck driver when you drive across so many countries with entirely different rules, entirely different signs. And I wonder how much of that is actually captured in this game, or if they've simplified a lot of it just for making it a bit easier on the player. No, I do not want to customize, because my truck can only handle certain things. Hold on, just had a cat like wildly eject from my lap. Okay. Hey, Farming Sim shorts and Dakota Dreams. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Well, what is a good morning to me? Not everyone watching will be in the morning right now. Alright, and we're ready to hit the road. Ah, damn it. This is why I don't get much time to play video games right now. I'm always busy with 1,000 things. Okay. Back to it and we'll see how long I can go without getting distracted by messages again. It probably won't be long. Oh, should have waited for them, but we're going now. Yeah, as soon as I said good morning, I'm like, no, I know Farm Sim is not in the morning, not by a mile anymore. But I'm still in morning brain. Oh, sweet. Good timing. So to slow down slightly too much and lost all my momentum. And I'm speeding. We've got plenty of time. We've got 3,232 kilometers to cover. We don't need to get speeding tickets for all of it. I wonder how much our landscape's going to change. I definitely feel like I don't think I could drive for 3,000 kilometers in any direction and not have the landscape change alarmingly. Or not alarmingly, but like significantly. Yes, let's hope it's not all just motorway. Now, of course, he's turning. No, I'm not quite sure. Was it too far forward for him and he just decided to go an entirely different way for it? That's quite the pile of hay bales there. Very nice, beautiful farming country here, that's for sure. Yeah, that was definitely a very small field for that pile of hay. Also, there's a lot of hay piled up in that field as well. Oh, and we're speeding. Got cruise control and I still keep speeding so much. Absolute menace. One second, gotta answer a question. Okay, and back to it. Yeah, so I'm running a medieval tournament this upcoming weekend. So my life has been very busy with answering questions and basically planning out details. So it is. Oh, damn it! A little bit of speeding. Ain't never killed anyone. Oh, we've got a train coming, I assume. That or we've missed the train. The arms are up, so I'm not. Okay, there the arms come down. No. I'm just trying to remember how to. Whatever. Oh, that was a short train. This is a view I never use. That is actually kind of nice because you just see so much more. But I still prefer the in-cab view for most things. Of course, I forgot to shift through all of that. And more questions to answer. Yep, and I'm speeding again. Damn it. Like, am I being followed by a cop car? Oh, I am gonna go wildly off the road if I try to... Yes, I am being followed by a cop car. Lucky he didn't give me any tickets for that stunt of, like, weaving all over the road. So really gotta pay attention to speed limits. Still very much in like sort of nice farmland. And just so we're still very much in Poland. I think that no. So right over here is so we'll be in Poland through Wrocław, and then I forget what that country there is called. It's like, Great Market. Yeah, the Czech Republic. That's the one. So we'll be in the Czech Republic for a while and go through Prague. I'm actually looking forward to going through Prague. Prague is one of those cities I would love to visit in real life. There's just... It is a city that has so much history in it. And as someone who's into history, that would be really cool too. spend some time there and explore a bit. I can only imagine that Prague has a lot of really interesting museums. Just like habitually checking my messages now. I am looking forward to next weekend because the event will be here and then the event will be gone and I don't have to think or worry about it for a while. Because I plan on running the same event next year, but until then, it is not my problem. Speeding, but losing a little bit of speed just because those corners are a little bit tight at that speed. Yep, the event I'm running is going to be Tournament of Roses. This event has been in Danescombe every year for a really, really long time. I want to say the first one ran in 2003. I could be wrong. Wait, no. 2003, that's too... Is that Shirley? It's somewhere around that area. We'll probably run another event in the fall, but that one will be a lot less my problem. Damn it. Oh, and right before the speed limit increases, I get caught doing crimes. Oh, nice. It's definitely changed a lot since the old days. But it is still a fun way to spend your summer. Okay. Take this ice. Hopefully this roundabout can be navigated. Oh. I have taken away my outside mirrors and I regret all of that. Let's get that mirror back there. Oh, that was lower of a gear than I meant to go to. There. I like this city. Very green. Cities should be green more often. Not just because I like the aesthetic of green and green is calming. green also keeps the city from like overheating in the summer a lot. As it turns out, having plants absorb all of the energy the sun's giving out is a really good way to keep everything cool. All right. I really wish we had lights like that here in North America. That would go yellow and then green. I really hate people sitting at lights for like, oh shit. I nearly missed my turn. Was not paying attention. Now, this may have been one of those where I didn't actually want to take the turn. The next turn may have been better. I'm going straight. This road looks way cooler than the one I'm supposed to turn on. I guess I could have actually put my signal on before being ready to turn. Like some sort of professional driver or something. Good thing I'm not actually expected to drive trucks in real life. Man, I still have over 3,000 kilometers to go. I don't actually know if I'm going to be able to finish this run today because I do have to leave at noon. I have a doctor's appointment I need to go to. So my first doctor's appointment that's really for me in a really long time. All my doctor's appointments for the last 2 years have been basically assessing my eligibility for organ donation. And I need to be in that left lane here. I'm really not doing a good job paying attention. Okay, we're good. Ooh, I like that bridge already. Let's see if we can get a decent shot of the bridge. Okay, now back to actually driving like a responsible adult. we're going to stay on these little windy back roads for a bit. I'm okay with that. I like these roads. It was much better than the last road I took was basically mostly on really big motorways. I guess motorways is the only way I'm going to be able to describe it because my brain goes to interstates, and while we don't have interstates in Canada because we don't have states, so we can't have interstate highways, my brain just goes, big highways are interstate highways. So we've pretty limited on the highways that we have that are really proper large highways in Canada. The closest really just is the Trans-Canada Highway. And I'm speeding. Luckily I'm not being followed by a cop car anymore. That was special. I think I got at least 3 speeding tickets, maybe 4 speeding tickets out of that one cop. It's a good day for him. Making bank off of my my inability to pay attention. Although definitely after this run, I'm going to have to see what I've unlocked for trucks and see if I can't upgrade my truck a bit. And then if I upgrade my truck, I can hire a trucker to put in this truck and start making some little money on the side, even when I'm not earning. Oh. Oh, the speed drops down to 30 here, so we'll just stay right there. That's definitely an interesting bit of road being carved out there. Oh. And we're back up to 70. That car was just in the wrong lane for that entire time? That was... That was interesting. That was kind of wild. I was ready for the slowdown. I wasn't ready for as much of a slowdown as what happened. So of course I overbraked. Alright. Out of Poland and into Czechoslovakia. And time to respond to some messages. Hopefully these shouldn't be. Okay, speeding, but we don't care because it's going to turn to 80. I'm telling you, is like the maximum speed you can drive in this game is way slower than American Truck Simulator, and I still I speed a lot in American Truck Simulator just because unless I'm in the bottom end of the Rockies there, the roads are relatively flat and boring, and I want to do like 130 because it just feels like the right speed to go. But here 80 actually seems like a good speed. Although I would just be happy if I could actually maintain 80 at the moment. So we're a half hour into the stream, and I have made it just shy of 400 kilometers out of my 3,000 needed. This is going to take a while. This is going to take a hot while. Landscape is still very similar. Less farmland and just rolling hills and light forest. But still very much in the same vein of the landscape feels very much alike. I expect as we get farther south it's going to change up more. slowing down a bit just because the road's a little bit tight and windy. We're just coming into Prague here. Okay, roundabout should be nice and easy because we're just going out the first exit. You could have just gone. I assume we're going to go out that second lane, but whatever, it'll be fine. Yeah, the bus could have gone uninterrupted, but that is not an issue. Perfect timing. Gotta love it. Off to the right would be Dresden, but we're not headed off to the right. I missed which way we're going here, but sure easy to build a speed. No, Frankfurt would be off to the left. We're not headed to Frankfurt. Sorry, are we headed to Bent? Brno. Okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, we're taking that exit, so should be fine with the speed we got, but I'm ready to scrub it a little bit more if needed. And we don't even have to merge. Yep, gotta love it. At some point here I'm going to start having to think about my rest stop. I think there's going to be a couple rest stops on the way there. Considering I'm 1/6 of the way into the journey and I'm already having to think about rest stop. It's going to be a while before I get to my destination. Sure glad I can shift without basically having my cruise control kick off. So I'm trying to think, I've driven one car where you could shift without the cruise control coming on, or kicking up, and I'm pretty sure that was an error. that was something wrong with the car. But it was kind of glorious. If perhaps just a touch, like, it wasn't annoying, but it was definitely, it was very much I kept it in my brain where I'm like, I can't use the clutch to disengage cruise control, so I need to remember this because I'm very used to using my clutch to control. Basically using my clutch to kick off cruise control. It is currently Monday, and my expected delivery of the load is Thursday or Friday. "84 hours remains." My next rest stop happens to happen in about basically 2.5 to 3 hours. I need to get to my next rest stop. And I'm delivering peas. I'm delivering 18 tons of peas. Interesting choice. Something I actually have to stop and repair in my truck. Now my current delivery would be Wednesday if I took no rest stops, so that's not going to happen. I need to take a lot of rest stops on this one. Also, just remembered a thing I need to check up on for... Okay, cool. Things are still exactly where I expected them to be. Just have a registration that I need to keep track of. Make sure it doesn't accidentally... I need to pay attention when it fills up so I can make a post about it. It is almost full. You almost ever use cruise control there, Coyote Dreams? I use cruise control all the time. My wife does not. When cruise control is broken, she generally doesn't really notice. She drives the cruise control. I will not lie. I use cruise control because it keeps me from speeding accidentally. So the way I use it in the game is very much how I use it in real life. It is a way to keep me from doing things illegally too much. Which is why I'm seriously contemplating getting cruise control for my Honda CB1000. Be able to just set it for 100 and cruise along at 100 rather than look down and go, I'm doing 130. Oops. Yeah, I'm a mechanic, and I still prefer driving cars that are basically sort of old school. Like, you leave it to me. I will rather drive a car from the 80s that has these tiny little, basically A, B, and C pillars, so I can do a shoulder check and just see everything around me through the windows because there's not these big beams blocking my view. I don't need a reverse camera. I don't need blind spot indicators, all that, because I can just look and see. So I had a throttle lock on my last bike, and I kept it on there for the entirety of the time I owned the bike, but it was never used to actually set my speed and then hold it. It was mostly used just so I could temporarily lock the throttle, stretch out the wrist and arm, and then back it off and basically go back to being active control. It was nice to be able to just sort of flex that arm, because otherwise, I would get the chance to sort of flex the arm, flex the wrist out if I was on a downhill where I didn't have to, whereas the bike was already going to maintain speed without throttle input. And if I was just stuck on a straightaway without it, like what I do currently on my bike, is if I need that chance to stretch out my wrist, I just pull the clutch and obviously stretch the wrist, release the clutch, and back to throttle. But cruise control would not be something I'd complain about. Although factory cruise control is, for the most part, the only real cruise control that I'm like. Factory cruise control is nice. Non-factory cruise control is acceptable. And for some reason Honda decided, of all the bikes that they make cruise control for, mine did not need it. And I disagree, but it is still the bike I wanted, so I get it anyway. I mean, really, cruise control was never going to be a make or break part of my decision there. But given some of the bikes that Honda has put cruise control on, the fact that mine was on one of them always just makes me sit there and go, really? Why? But yeah, no, it's like if I'm just like driving, not anything specific, like not going anywhere specific, not going on a long trip, I still want to basically drive a like Honda Civic from the 80s or early 90s. Just a really light, minimal car. There's as little as possible going on. You can get these where they don't have power steering because they're so light that they don't need power steering. You can just reef the wheel over by hand at a stop. Not a big deal. But I like a lot of the technology that goes in cars. I dislike what we've made modern cars to be. Okay, let's take a quick look at the map. There's a rest stop coming up, and it looks like this is going to, like, the next option is yeah, it's 2.5 hours away. That's going to be too far. So I'm going to have to take this one. rest stop portion of this. And we wake up at 3 in the morning, and off we go. Because we are moving along into a path that is currently occupied by a bunch of big rigs. Well, that was good timing for that to have to come down to a merge. We'll take it. Now, hopefully we can get up to speed here. I'm definitely looking forward to getting a truck with a more powerful engine. Hey Logan, how's it going? Hope you're having a good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever it is where you're at. This road just seems a little too busy for 4 o'clock in the morning. What sort of weird sickos are voluntarily awake at this time of the day? If they let me control rest stop time instead of just you automatically rest for that set number of hours, I would have woken up at no earlier than 7. It's just not worth it. But I am 100% not a morning person. I hate mornings so much. I would stay up super late and get up late every single day if I could. But for me, my productivity hours, if I actually want to really get something done, get work done efficiently, it is done between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Basically, at that point, my brain, all the distractions go away, and I can just work on whatever it is that needs to be worked on. So that is by far my preferred way to do it. Morning is one of those things that I work through simply because that's when the world's decided that we need to work. What I find really funny is when I'm out camping, or basically out in an area where I'm going to be up late night socializing, but there's stuff to be done. I actually wake up super early. Like, I'll often be awake at 6 a.m. To get a head start on the day. And this isn't like I set an alarm for 6 a.m. and like force myself to. No, my brain just goes, pop, all right, time to get to work. Has no issue with it. However, it is not my preferred way to do it. And I can do that on the, like, basically as an occasional weekend thing. I can do that. As a regular, I'm sure that would just leave me dead and drained really fast. Yeah, early mornings out in nature are very different than early mornings in a city for me. If I wake up with the sun just barely starting to like get up towards, basically the sun's still behind the mountains, the birds are singing. That's a morning I can handle. When it's morning in the side of the city, I just always want to roll over and go back to bed. We're definitely getting into more like forested area here. This is kind of beautiful landscape. I think Germany just as a whole is one of those countries that I think is really beautiful. And we're back to farmland. The last 2 years, my employment was very hit and miss. I would just basically get called if there was work. I wouldn't get called if there wasn't any work. And I was really busy with a lot of other things. So I started losing track of what time of day it was, what day of the week it was. And on the one hand, I really enjoyed it. On the other hand, it made it way too easy to just sort of lose track of how close important things that needed to be done were. But that was definitely where I found all the personal projects I was working on. I discovered that no, like the late night was the time where all that got done. If I needed to do taxes, I could basically spend 4 mornings working on it, or basically toss me all the documents at 11 at night, and it'll be done by 2 a.m. I get distracted really easily when I work on things. My brain is always flicking over to something else. I don't have a very hard time keeping my mind focused. But at midnight, my mind sort of just sharpens up and pays attention to what's in front of me, and I just go. I just get it done. Midnight mechanic. If only. That's definitely one thing where working 8 to 5 as a mechanic, I am always so very done working on cars by the time I get home. And I don't know how my apprentice does it. He works all day on cars, and then he goes home and works on cars. I think basically by the time his apprenticeship is done, he is going to be a mechanic at a skill level basically when I've been like a Red Seal for like 5 years, that's about where he's going to come out of his apprenticeship at, possibly further along. But he just nose to the grindstone on everything mechanical. I think. I think he's going to be one of those people, especially since he really loves old cars. Like when he was 14, he got a old it was an MG of some type. It's one of the old MG Roadsters, and I don't remember. But anyway, so he had an MG, and yeah, he basically sort of like rebuilt it, got it running, got it going, and no one knows how to work on that old stuff anymore. No one new coming in the field is learning any of that stuff. And so as all these people retire, people like him are going to be in super high demand. People who know how to fix vehicle. Like he came to me with questions about basically positive chassis cars and 6-volt cars, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to dig deep for this sort of info because I've never worked on them. But this is the sort of stuff that he's working on, and I'm like, no one else is going to be able to do this. It's very much going to be uniquely people like him that can do this. So I think he's going to have the potential to make a lot of money working on the stuff that like, I mean, they don't teach you carburetors in school anymore. They haven't taught you how to work on a carburetor since 2010. So the last 14 years of mechanics, no one's learning how to work in carburetors. So someone who can work in carburetors is going to be really important for any car from the 80s and older. And people still love these cars. People still want these cars running. Yeah, you can do a conversion to fuel injection if you want, but that's not what most people want. Most people want the car the way the car was designed. Okay, got my alarm. I am less than an hour from my doctor's appointment. Oh, move the mouse. So yeah, definitely not finishing delivering this load today. If I plan on doing these giant loads in one stream, I'm going to have to make sure I block off a significant portion of time. Alright, and out of Germany and into Switzerland. This is our 4th country change in this trip already, and we have more to go. We're going to have to go through France and Spain as well. And I don't think we go through Italy. There's a small chance we might. To make that right-hand turn. Off towards Strasbourg. No, we're not going to change lanes there. We're gonna just, yeah, we come out of that big rig, we're fine. This is quite the tunnel. I think Switzerland is kind of famous for their tunnels in the mountains. Not that this is a particularly mountainous region of Switzerland. All right, car. No, whatever. We're making it work. Landscape still looks very similar. Still those green rolling hills. As the one thing I prefer more about American Truck Simulator is driving this long in American Truck Simulator. I would have either hit desert or mountains or like dead flat plains. There's a lot of variety. Like there are still subtle changes in the landscape here, but they're not as pronounced as they are in American Truck Simulator. Is this another I need to be in the left lane? Yes, it is. Yes, I really hate it where you have every exit and on ramp you lose your right lane, and it drives me nuts. It is not a way I appreciate roads being built. Give you a merge and exit lane for each of them, and life is so easy. Leave me 2 lanes through it. Which we're gonna get over to let that car in, even though that car did not take it, because AI is imperfect. Mind you, I also wouldn't be surprised to see exactly the same sort of behavior in real life, because people drive in very odd and frightening ways. We're still over 2,000 kilometers from our destination. We've put down 1,180 kilometers-ish, I think. Something like that. probably due for it. Yeah, so we're 6 hours from our next rest stop that we need to take. Which is annoying because it is currently 10 o'clock in the morning, so that means I need to go to bed at 4 p.m., which means I'll be driving through the entire night. And I dislike night driving. I would rather... I'm getting very tempted to turn the tiredness off, basically to turn the need for rest stops off, so I can just go and rest stop when the sun starts going down. Too early to be looking at our next required rest stop, but I am starting to sort of track when they're happening. This is going to be a pretty damn big paying job, I imagine, because it was quite a bit per mile or per kilometer, and we're putting so many kilometers down. This should be a pretty big paycheck. I don't think it gives me that info. Yeah, job income, $82,000. Definitely gonna be able to afford to look at a new truck after this. I can even make it to the next check stop in game, and I don't think I'm actually going to be able to, or the next rest stop, because that is still 4 hours away in game, and we are 15 minutes till noon, so I'm going to have to get going really soon. So I'm going to have to just pull over somewhere and basically call the stream, but. So I think we'll just keep on going to the next rest stop, call the stream, and then I will have to pick this up again later. I'd love to finish this before next Monday, but with the event that I'm running this this next Saturday, I don't think I'm going to be able to have a chance. But after that, I should hopefully have more free time again. May not be spent playing video games, but I may actually be working on a project that will work for streaming my progress as I go along, so we'll see. We will see what next week brings. Now, of course, I'm not going to have a rest stop to pull over at for who knows how long. It's the way this always seems to go. But I'm not in a huge time crunch yet, so I don't just need to... Should be fine to not just like force myself off to the side of the road and call it. Oh, there That is quite the building. There's a building right over the road. No. I have a lot of signs on like this. Like, I'd be tempted to think that was like my brain goes, was that like a border crossing? But it seems like a weird place to be a border crossing. But there were so many flags on it, it's got to be something government-based. And we are on our way to Lyon. The only reason I know vaguely where Lyon is because of playing a lot of Crusader Kings 2. Really need to sit down and play Crusader Kings 3, but when the hell am I going to have time for that? I don't have any time. I don't have time for any of the stuff I do already. I wonder, like, there's got to be those glass barriers must be there for controlling the wind across. So one of their very expensive sports cars getting a probably a nasty ticket if they get to keep their license in the car at all. Not sure how Switzerland, or maybe we're France at this point. No, we're still in Switzerland. I see it as the Swiss flag. I'm not sure how the Swiss police are on what happens to you if you get caught doing a excessive speed on the highways. Alright, so this is the rest stop we're going to use. We're just going to stop right here. And we are going to call it. Thank you very much for joining and chatting. Hopefully see you guys next week. Take care.